When it comes to learning English, the first thing that comes to our mind is grammar, as we believe that grammar is the backbone of English. And in order to learn English, firstly, we will have to master all the chapters of grammar, and after mastering all the chapters of grammar, we will ultimately be able to learn English and speak it fluently. And therefore we actually start to spend hours on learning it, on mastering, on excelling each and every aspect of grammar. However, despite the fact we can't make it to create even a single sentence in English while speaking, we cannot even utter even a single word of English language. And after we realize this fact, we start to feel disappointed, we start to feel discouraged, and ultimately quit learning English language. Well, this is not something that you are experiencing at this moment. It is something that I have also experienced. And therefore, in today's video, I'm going to talk about my own experience of learning English and why I decided to quit learning English through grammar. So if you are new here, I am Shaheen and let's dive right in. So I remember when I was learning English, I would also believe that grammar is that staircase that will directly lead me to achieve fluency in English, and after learning grammar I will automatically start speaking in English. And until I master all the aspect of grammar, all the chapters, all the intricate details, the since, the for, the s and the es, I will never be able to learn English and therefore not speak it fluently. And therefore I started to spend hours on learning grammar. At by that time, I think I had mastered everything about grammar. I knew when to use s, I knew when not to use es, I knew where I am supposed to use for, or where I am supposed to use since. However, despite the fact I was still unable to make it to speaking even a single word, I would still find it challenging to create even a single sentence in English language, which which certainly led me to feel disappointed. It certainly led me to feel discouraged, and I would wonder that what is it that is going wrong. Even though I am spending a lot of time learning grammar, even though I'm I am able to master all the aspect. I know what I'm supposed to use at that point, what I'm supposed to use at this point, why it is that I am still unable to speak in English fluently. And I remember after a couple days there was a moment, because my eyesight is quite weak, so I had to regularly check into my doctor. So I went into the optical store to get my eye assessed, and it was there when I saw a man. He was also getting his eye assessed, and to convey his to convey his message, he talked he talked to the doctor that, doctor, I want to get my eyes checked. And when I heard that sentence, when I heard him saying that, I thought, I know what grammar he used right there. I know what aspect of grammar he has used there. However, still I can't speak the same way as he has done. It did not take him any effort to convey his message in English language using the same grammar that I have been squandering all my time on learning. And despite the fact I cannot speak as comfortably as he can, that was the moment when I realized that something is wrong with learning grammar. There is something that I am doing wrong, and I certainly need to change. If I am quite passionate about learning English, and if I really want to be fluent and speak comfortably. So that was the moment when I decided I'm not going to learn grammar, and all the grammar that I had learned was just the grammar, and now I'm not going to spend any point of my time on squandering or on mastering any aspect of it. And Afterwards, I started to look for the alternatives of grammar. I started to look for the ways through which I could still manage to learn English, however, without being too concerned, without being too concerned and too conscious about the intricate detail. Because when I was learning grammar, I was being overly concerned about accuracy. Learning grammar literally encourages us to run after accuracy, and because we are human being, we are bound to make mistakes. It is impossible for any human being not to make mistake. It is our personality trait that consists of wrong, right, and good and bad. And if there is a human being who cannot make mistakes, he would not be considered a human being, right? So therefore, because I was running after too much accuracy, I wanted to use for when I was supposed to. I wanted to use since when I was supposed to, and because of this over concern of me about learning English, about using all the grammars perfectly, I was lagging behind. I was my overall. It was certainly slowing down my process of learning English. It was making it quite challenging for me to navigate effectively through my English language journey, and that is the reason why I quit learning grammar and started to look for the alternatives. And after I replaced grammar with books and listening to English, overall, when I replaced grammar with immersion into English, I was able to see drastical changes. I was able to see changes into my overall English. I was able to speak. I was able to convey my message. I was overall able to speak and convey my expressions, my thoughts, my opinions. So replacing grammar with another aspects of English language, as we all know that English consists of four aspects, namely reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So grammar is not only the fundamental aspect of learning English, and therefore I replaced it with other things, with other aspects, which was reading and listening. And after having done that, I was able to see quite progress in my overall learning journey of English. And therefore, through this video, I am trying to make this point that although learning grammar is essential, however, to some extent, after you have after you have learned tenses, after you have learned modals, that is all, after you have learned both these aspects of grammar, you do not necessarily need to squander all your time on mastering each and every aspect of English language. Instead, at that point, you are cautiously supposed to spend your time on immersing yourself, because when we read, when we listen, we are exposing ourselves to how that grammar is used in context. And unless we grasp the knowledge, we grasp the understanding of how grammar is used in context, we will certainly not be able to speak or write or even convey anything in English language. So my point here is that you should learn grammar, however, to some extent, to a certain extent. If specifically, I would suggest learn grammar. In grammar, learn tenses, learn modals, and that's all. Do not waste all your time, because your time is quite valuable and you are supposed to use it productively, so that in the future you do not have to regret and you don't ultimately end up wasting your valuable time. Thanks for watching this video. If you learned anything through this video, then consider commenting down